Hi, I'm Suzanne Jesse, clinical therapist specializing in anxiety and addiction disorders. For the past 10 years, I've studied and practiced at the world's leading hospitals and treatment centers, most recently at the world-renowned Betty Ford Center. For the first time ever, I'm going to reveal the 8 primary contributing factors to anxiety. But before I do, there are 3 important things to keep in mind when we're talking about anxiety. Number 1, stress and anxiety are at the root of all addictive disorders, whether it be chemical dependency, obesity, anorexia, bulimia, gambling, or sex. Stress and anxiety are the triggers. Number 2, anxiety is a physical response based on an emotional perception of an event, whether the event is real or imagined. Let me say that again. Anxiety is a physical response based on an emotional perception of an event, whether real or imagined. And quite simply, but yet profoundly, the physical response of anxiety is a chemical reaction in the brain. The third thing to keep in mind about anxiety is that anxiety is a fear-based or worry-based emotion. And there are really only 2 kinds of fear. 1, fear of not getting something we want, and 2, fear of losing something we already have. Now these things may actually not be things at all. They may be the fear of losing someone's love, affection, and attention. They may be the fear of not getting the response or recognition we think we deserve. And it may simply be the fear of not fitting in. So as a result of these fear and worry-based emotions are born the 8 contributing factors to anxiety. Some of them are behavioral habits, some of them are thought habits, and others are personality traits. So here they are, the 8 primary contributing factors to anxiety. Number 1, control issues. Wouldn't it be wonderful if people just did, said, reacted, and behaved the way we needed them to, when we needed them to? Life would be wonderful. Unfortunately, life doesn't go off that way. Number 2, perfectionism. When we fall short of others' expectations of ourselves, and even our own, we're often left with a sense of inferiority and failure. This can be very anxiety-provoking. Number 3 and 4 are resentments. Resentments to self and others. I often call resentments the grubworms to the soul. They threaten to eat the roots of the fruits of our spirit. Number 5, catastrophic thinking. Catastrophic thinking is when we start thinking about something relatively minor. Like perhaps the boss is in a bad mood, and before we know it in our mind, we've lost our job, we've lost our home, and we've lost our spouse. Very anxiety-provoking. Number 6 is internal dialogue. This is what we tell ourselves about ourselves, and unfortunately, often this is very unkind. Number 7 is emotional choices. Sure, emotions are going to come to us, like anger, perhaps jealousy, but emotional choices is about choosing how much time we spend in those emotions. It can make a really big difference. And finally, number 8, emotional self-regulation. If you're suffering from anxiety, you need to have the ability to interrupt, redirect, and self-regulate when you feel anxiety symptoms coming on, so you can stop it in its tracks. So there you have it, the 8 primary contributing factors to anxiety, never before revealed. So what do we do about them? Well, that is in the One Solution. Click the link above and find out more. Thanks for joining me today.